My name is Sean. This year, I turned 48, and 50 is right around the corner. I'm not sure I'm ready for it. I got a lot I'd like to get done. So I made this deal with myself. I'm going to use these 2 years as a countdown to get my shit together. So recently I received some blood test results that were not so good. Actually, I am prediabetic. So that's how all of this started. With the goal of weight loss, I gave myself the usual line of bullshit about how I was going to create some structured program that I was going to follow perfectly, and the world was going to be perfect, and I was going to meal plan, and that was going to be perfect, and everything was going to be perfect, and every little bit of weight that I lost, it was all going to be perfect and incremental. That's where it began with these fitness goals that I've had in the past. I've done it all before. I've done the trends. I have failed every time. Even when I succeeded, I failed because I would lose a ton of weight, and then I would go back to my old ways once I would meet my weight loss goal, and then I would gain more back. And that's what I've done repeatedly for 15 years. I would want to get to a certain weight, get beyond that sometimes, and then gain weight back. Or I would start a program and I would quit before it even got off the ground. I realized how full of shit I am with those types of goals, or with goals that are structured in that way, and decided to do something different. And I just needed to start with habit forming, doing something day by day, little by little, until it changes my lifestyle. That's what this is. This isn't a weight loss goal. This is a lifestyle change. To start this, I decided to look for inspiration. I'm a proud Gen Xer, so every time I look for inspiration, I look in the same place. It was in the 80s and 90s where I first began to dream. It was in the 80s and 90s where my mind and my imagination was free, where I was allowed to have absolute tunnel vision on my goals, whether that be grades or sports, and get that feeling, that feeling that you get when you bust your butt and you achieve something. So that's why I went for inspiration, and that's why I found inspiration. What inspires me most about that time frame, that gives me the most nostalgia, is the movies. 80s movies, specifically movies where there's this one protagonist, and they are told they cannot accomplish this seemingly insurmountable goal, and they persevere and they become victorious in the end. So that's where I went for inspiration and for an idea how to form habits. When it comes to 80s movies, there's one movie that inspires me, and everything else is a distant second. And that movie, if you haven't guessed it by the intro scene, is Vision Quest. It's played by actor Matthew Modine, and the character's name is Loudon Swain. Now, Loudon is a wrestler. He just decides that he is going to lose 22 pounds off an already fit frame and take on the best wrestler in the state. Everybody in the town tells him that he is insane for deciding to do this, even his wrestling coach. But he ignored all the naysayers. He'd eat away at his goal little by little with these little habits. He accomplished the goal of losing the weight, defeating the wrestler. And I realized in watching that movie that it wasn't just about the weight. It was about all these other things. Life was interfering with his goal, and he had to push back against those other parts of his life and still accomplish his goal. Whenever I'm going after one goal, something always interrupts. Even if it's just my own laziness, which my own laziness interferes quite a bit. This character, Loudon Swain, in this movie made me think, you can have one goal, but there are other things in life that you will need to achieve to make sure that that goal is also accomplished, because life gets in the way. So I thought about the times when I was going after a goal, a specific goal, a lot of times a weight loss goal, and I would end up having to take a detour because of something else. I have a lot of things going on right now. A family, 2 wonderful little girls. One is 12, one is a year old. I'm in grad school. I have an important career for the last 24 years, and that career sometimes will get in the way, where I would have to be on call and I would have to go into work when I expected to have a free day and do other things. So I thought, why not try to accomplish my top 5 goals and give myself time to accomplish those goals? That's where this just all grew from weight loss into something so much bigger. I thought of my top 5 goals and said to myself, let's go Michael Corleone and take care of all family business. The first thing I had to do is come up with a plan before I came up with my specific objectives. I just took the SMART goals initiative, the whole thing about every goal or task being specific, measurable, achievable or realistic, relevant to the overall objective you're trying to accomplish, and time bound. So my top 5 goals, my first one is health and wellness. If I don't get my act together, I will be a type 2 diabetic. I discussed the results with my doctor, and he was talking about medication. I asked him if I could take another 3 months to work on these goals. So already we have the first increment. I want to weigh 235 pounds. Right now I weigh 307 pounds, which let's go with 310. So I want to have a 70-pound weight loss. And for those of you who may think that 235 is still heavy, when I post this, I'm going to put up a photo of myself when I graduated from basic training in the Army in 1997. I'm in that photo with my beautiful late mother. And in that photo, I weigh 225 pounds. So 20 years old, 225 pounds, and I look like that. So 235 is a terrific goal at this age. Also, I took a DEX scan, and in the DEX scan, I have 199 pounds of lean mass. So I'm excited to meet that weight because I think I'll look great. And then also going to therapy just to work on my mental health as well, because it's important. Sometimes, especially in times of extreme stress, you need to go and get help, not because you're weak, but to remain strong. And that's not my quote, that's someone else's. I just can't remember, but awesome quote. Kudos to whoever came up with that first. My next goal is time with my family. I want to have time dedicated to being with my family, and that's it. Weekly would be great. On the weekends, we can go to the Springs Preserve, to the farmer's market. We could do things that's purely family based, and we could also do activities at home where we can take all of our electronic devices and put them in a Faraday box so that we're not disturbed, and enjoy some family time, watch a movie together, or my oldest daughter loves board games. We can find something on a daily basis for 30 minutes to an hour. Summer is coming up in the next few months, which is great because we love our local water park. So we will figure out a way to dedicate more time to be spent together with just our family. My next goal is graduate school. A couple of years ago, I decided to go back to school. I am currently in graduate school pursuing a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. So basically, I would love to become a psychotherapist, and that would be my second career. My first career has been terrific. I've been, and I'm not going to speak much about it, but I've had my first career for 24 years. I'll have it at least another 2 years, maybe another 5 years. But when I am done, I want to move on into the mental health field. My first career has been about helping people, and sometimes I've been able to help people and sometimes I haven't been. My second career will be all about helping people. My spouse and I, she and I have been together for 15 years. And 15 years, 2 children, pets, you accumulate a lot of crap. I can understand why minimalists say that all the space would be it creates a very healthy environment. I turned 50, I want to have all these goals accomplished. And at this point, age 50 is 800 days away. And I want to chronicle that on this channel for accountability, to build a community. I'm hoping it will become something that could connect me with my fellow midlifers. So we'll see. But accountability is a big part of it. If you're wondering about the 800 days, it's because this is a lifestyle change, and I want to dedicate myself to something to change my life to make it better. Of my top 5 goals, some of those goals cannot be accomplished in a short period of time. For example, finishing graduate school. I can't rush through graduate school and finish that in 90 days. It's just not going to work that way. With the weight loss, it took me 15 years to gain all of this weight. So a little over 2 years isn't going to hurt. In fact, it's probably more healthy that way, to slowly lose the weight. To keep me motivated and to focus all of these different tasks into one overall mission, I decided to name it. And I know that's corny, or it could come across as corny, but that's why it's done in the military. And a lot of times you have multiple units working on different tasks, but it's all to accomplish one goal. My football coach once said, the game of football, you all have your own job, but one goal. 11 players, one goal. This will be one goal to change my life by age 50. There's going to be different tasks. There's going to be 5 goals, and each of those 5 goals are going to have different activities that I will complete and post here online by what I hope will be the midpoint of my life. And that's why I decided to name it Operation Midpoint. And everything I do that I post here online is going to be under that umbrella operation. And for me, it works to know that this task has this goal in mind, and in a few days when I do a completely different task, it also has this same goal in mind. Each of these tasks will have one goal, and that is to better my life by age 50, which, like I said, is 800 days away. I am not an expert on anything about which I will be posting, or at least not yet. So you will see me fail, you will see me succeed, you will get my perspective on things, because some of my posts will be about my perspective on certain aspects of my life, and hopefully in comments and maybe in videos yourself, you can post and share your perspective. So if you have constructive tips that will help me and anyone else watching, please throw those in the comments. I think that's all I have to say in my ramblings that will hopefully not seem like ramblings, because I'll figure out how to edit. But I'll be seeing you.